Digging deep beneath the wave, I'ma prop your peace. Steady taking space, let me just breathe. Let me just be. Gonna choose what's good for me. I'm finally free. Pattern in the pavement, do my singing in the shower.
Welcome back to my channel. Today's reading is going to be on Are We Living the Truman Show? So if you haven't watched the Truman Show, it's basically a movie starring Jim Carrey. And Jim Carrey is basically, he thinks he's an actual person, but he's actually a character in a show. And he's basically living a scripted life, and everyone around him knows, except for him. And so basically the whole duration of the movie is him trying to figure out, why everyone acts weird and secretive, and basically just trying to figure out the truth of, is he real? Is everything around him real? And he's being observed the whole movie through spectators because he's a character. And so people claim that this movie is basically, exposing the truth when it comes to our own reality, as like we live our reality is a play and we live in a simulation, etc., etc. And what made me inspired to do this reading was because I saw a video on Instagram of this woman saying, oh, don't you guys know that the government hires people to create rush hour traffic and things like that to keep you to tire you out, and basically like your life is a play, right? So I just want to know, if that's true. Is life more scripted than people realize? Is our life more scripted than people realize? I also just heard you get nothing for free. Hanged Man backwards. We have the Four of Pentacles backwards. Well, we have the Eight of Wands backwards. Whew. And then we have the Two of Wands backwards. Yes, heavily. It's scripted. It's more so we're watched heavily every day, every hour, every second, every millisecond, heavily. And you want to know why I feel this way? Is because everyone's back is turned towards me, and I'm observing them. In this point of view. And Spirit is saying we get heavily watched. It's almost as if like they experiment on us. Yes, 100%. So major events, they say 9/11, 9/11 was scripted. Major events, they purposely throw shit in our path to see how we would react. So scripted, yes, because they actually plan things. Yeah, with the Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, they actually plan, they be planning shit, y'all. And then they be seeing how we react. Yeah. But you know something? People are tired. People are gonna stop reacting. They don't realize that, I'm sure they understand the big brother, if you will. They understand the concept of desensitizing, and people are growing tired, and people are just gonna stop caring. And I don't know if that's a good thing or not, because I see people, yes, emotionally withdrawing, but I don't know if I should say this. I also see people ending their lives as well. See, I knew this was gonna be heavy. I guess I kind of underestimated this topic a little bit. Good thing I did this one first. My next question is, are we meant to feel observed? Are we as a society meant to feel observed? You have the Eight of Wands in reverse. I don't know which one is backwards. I think it's this one. Okay. No, you're not. We're meant to live prosperous lives. We're meant to, kind of live like cat ladies in a sense, and off the grid, and pulling us further and further away from the source. With technology and not only just God or the universe or whatever you believe in, also your intuition and all that. Yeah. It has something to do with control. It has something to do with control, but also the source. I feel like when it comes to our conscious, it's like we're supposed to know certain things, and things were written down. For example, and it's just an example, okay? It may sound crazy to you, but whatever. I'm channeling, right? Say if humans were meant to have superpowers, like X-Men or some shit. Our consciousness, it's like a baby growing into an adult, a teenager, then an adult. It's like our consciousness is constantly supposed to evolve because we're superhuman. Like we could, like, yo, like, we could fly and shit. Look, we could fly and shit. You see how this woman is levitating in the air? It's like, but things have changed so much and purposely, because also history books that they've burned. It's like we don't know who we are as a human species, and none of us have reached our fullest potential, and it's because of them. Whoever you want to call it, whatever you want to call it, the Illuminati or whatever the hell, I don't know. Whoever, you know, basically kind of controls all this, the world. We're supposed to constantly evolve, and we're supposed to constantly be able, and as we evolve, we're supposed to constantly be able to do different shit, like have magical powers and shit. But they stunted that because they attacked our consciousness, y'all. Over time, they attacked our consciousness. We honestly weren't meant to have rulers. We were supposed to be our own, you know. After God reset the earth, we were supposed to be our own, you know, we were supposed to be on our own path. And it's like, oh, Lord. What does tarot reveal that what does tarot reveal about the idea that our reality is a simulation? Sun card. The Eight of Swords. Okay. Yeah. Y'all, okay, see, and I've been saying this for years. Y'all, we're not living in a simulation. We're not. It's the mind. You know how they say, like, they call, like, our world the Matrix? It's like, it's imprisonment of the mind. And the Eight of Swords literally talks about imprisonment, and also it could also talk about imprisonment of the mind, feeling trapped. We're not living in a simulation. Our grass is real. Our sun is real. And there's, well, I mean, if you believe this, there's even a sun god. There's a deity that rules over the sun. And I'm sure a lot of cultures have different names for it, but it's true. Regardless of what the name is, it's true. There is a sun god. And it's real. The sun god, it's real. And we don't live in a simulation. The cards are saying that perspective is everything. And you have the power with I think it's the magician. Yeah, it is the magician. You basically have the power to create your own world. And with the Seven of Cups here, it tells me about perspective. It tells me about your perspective, and that the Matrix is more of a mind thing instead of an actual physical thing. Yeah. And the cards are also saying that a lot of people claim that they're woke, but they're not. You see how, you know, these women are blindfolded? For as long as you fail to realize and understand that we have the power all along as a collective, you're never going to be free. You can never say that you're woke, because you're not. That's what it really means to be woke. Understanding that you have the power and moving accordingly. Hire people to do normal, mundane activities in our day-to-day life, such as creating rush hour traffic and riding elevators and escalators, etc., to tire us out. And as the government hire people to do mundane things to keep life going, like kind of like posers, like kind of in the Truman Show. God, as the government hire people, I'm getting in foreign countries, not in the U.S. Of course, when I ask these questions, I have the U.S. in mind. But if you're saying foreign countries, that's too much money. That's too much money. They have other ways to be posers. Like, there's no point. They'd rather spend their money on a hoes that they be cheating on their spouses with. They'd rather use your tax dollars and buy their hoes a Birkin bag. They'd rather do that than. Yeah, no, yeah. They use other tactics like, oh shit, Five of Wands, the Page of Swords. Yeah, they use other tactics. They watch us. They don't hire people to watch us. Yeah, they invest in money to observe us. For example, like AI or something. See things like that. Honestly, I more so see like a friend that you probably knew all your life, or that you're so close with, might be a fed. I see that more than anything. Like your close kin, like, might secretly be a fed, or like secretly be an agent or something. Yeah, I see. That's crazy. I see that more than government hiring people to you know, create rush hour traffic and all that. No. It reminds me of and I think I did a live stream reading. It reminds me of that lady that was the mayor in California, and she admitted to being a foreign agent. And turns out we thought like, you know, like she was for us. It's like something like that, but with your close friends and maybe even cousins or family members or spouses or doctors. Yeah, it's like that, y'all. Interesting. Very interesting. You know, it's giving movie, but it's not giving Truman Show movie. You know what I'm saying? Glitches are people experiencing spiritually. We have the Ten of Pentacles. People are changing their idea of what it's like, what's important to them in regards to living. You know how like we have the American dream? It's like they're changing what they envision themselves for like their future. Like, for example, if since we're taught to envision like having a spouse, having kids, and a dog, and a white picket fence, people are reevaluating what's important to them now. Some people don't want to be traditional. Oh wow, I see the dogs and all that. I didn't even I didn't even notice this at first, I swear. Let me bring it closer. I didn't even notice this. I swear. It's like people are no longer, you know, attempting to fit that mold anymore. Some people don't want kids. Some people just are fine with fur babies, and you know, some people are fine with living by themselves. They don't want to get married. They're starting to realize that the world is a scam. I told you this in the beginning. I told you people are going to grow tired, and they're going to readjust properly, and they're going to start prioritizing themselves and their comfortability, and that's not always going to entail what the government wants us to do. Yeah. And I see people like sad and depressed here. Y'all, people are struggling, and this is the unalive energy I was talking about, y'all. People, I wouldn't be surprised if there's an uptick in suicidal rates. I wouldn't be surprised in the next 10 years. I wouldn't be surprised. And I do see divine interference when it comes to us. It's when it comes to the glitch. It's spirit. It is. Spirit is waking people up. Yeah, and people are contemplating about their choices and their priorities and what it's like to be an American, or what it's like to be, you know, living the dream when it comes to what their country envisions for their citizens. They're like, we're no longer in those times anymore, you know. What secret about reality is becoming easier to recognize? Transitions, the mundane. We have the sanctuary. We have revelry, the raven, and we have the Adam's family. And we have secret knowledge. I think this has something to do with democracy and presidency, and it's like how our country is ran, or how people's countries are ran. When it comes to the US, it's how the country is ran and what shit show is currently going on with our current president, and but with foreign countries, people are fed up about how things are ran. It's starting to feel like a dictatorship now. At first people grew used to it in foreign countries, but it's like now it's like I don't like how our country is ran. And why am I saying I've been tolerating this for all these years? It's time to amp it up. And I honestly feel like, followed by the president of Iran's death, I think that is what caused the transition. It's more so centered around government, y'all, and what the government is keeping from the people. People are starting to realize that the government is shady as fuck. People are starting to not trust their government. Whereas people did. And honestly, this is kind of like a shocker for me, which I get it. Like I mean, I guess it's common sense in a way. People are going to trust their government because you're voting for them. But it's like people would willingly, blindly trust their government. And also, when it comes to personal affairs, like from person to person, like situations would differ. You know, people are questioning their family ties. People are questioning who's for them. And it could even be involving friends too. Who's really a friend or a foe? Who's really a genuine family member and has their best interest at heart, and who's a foe. I think that people are reevaluating their circle, as well as you know, keeping one eye on their government, right? And also some people are keeping one eye on their money too. For some people it's like family and money and business, and then for some people it's like the government, and then family, friends, etc., career. It's like, yeah, people like, I got one eye on this and one eye on that, like but it's mostly government, honestly. People are starting not to trust the government anymore, and that's the energy that I saw earlier. It's like people listen, Trump, the government is not ready. government in all countries and states is not ready. People are going to stop spending their money. People are going to, it's mostly that. People are going to stop spending their money because either they don't have it or they're willingly choosing not to spend their money. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Ooh, and they're going to try to reel us in too with deals and be obvious about our reality within the next decade. What truth will be obvious? What truth will be obvious about our reality within the next decade? We have the 5 of Cups. Sorry, I don't keep moving the shit. I'm sorry. We have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Death card. Y'all, all I gotta say is that they don't really care about us. Having material things like land and gold and silver or something like that, like, is what's going to be obvious about our reality. Having possessions, money is not going to matter that much in the next decade. You need to have some possessions. Like, you need to have like valuable jewelry and elements and metals and stuff, and land and a passport, bitch. That's what. Money's not gonna matter in the next decade. It's not. Also, you need to start, like, people need to start investing. Investing is a lot more lucrative. I'm gonna be honest with you, like, working a 9 to 5 is not really gonna matter that much. I mean, yes, some people are going to get by with a 9 to 5, but it's not everybody. And also, something's going to end. Something's gonna end. We have 2 cards here that talks about completion and something ending for a new thing to start. And honestly, I think you know how they say, oh, Trump is the last president? It might has something to do with that. Government changing or something like that. Or somebody might die. Somebody important might die. But also, things are going to keep on changing. And if it's for better or worse, it's up to you. It's going to vary from person to person. But you shouldn't fear, though. That's one thing. As a matter of fact, in these cards, I don't see nobody fearing anything. I do see sadness and disappointment and depression from some people. But for the most part, I see people well-adjusted and basically just doing what they can. Doing their best to, you know, survive. But yeah, having material things like land or something and metals and yeah, y'all, that paper money ain't gonna matter. I'm just keeping it a stack. That paper money ain't gonna matter, honey. Them $100 bills don't matter. They never did. They never did. I'm joking. They did, but you know. What is spirit encouraging people to remember? Okay, next up. What messages do our higher selves have about this feeling of us feeling like we're in a simulation? Or we're in the Matrix, or, you know, like our reality is scripted. What does our higher selves have about this? What messages do our higher selves have about this feeling of us, you know, having a scripted reality? It's irrational. It's irrational, and some of y'all are psyching yourselves out. I'm gonna just keep it stacked. I'm a conspiracy theorist too. I enjoy those. I listen. I lend an ear. But some people don't have the mental capacity to go down rabbit holes like that. And so y'all be psyching yourselves out. Yikes. So I'm not saying that, you know, being a conspiracy theorist is bad. I'm just saying that, you know, y'all gotta do it in moderation. Y'all gotta do it in moderation. These are all in the reverse. Lord have mercy. Hold on. Can you put aside the Wheel of Fortune in the reverse? He's a fat stupid thing. Spirit is saying spend more time with your family. Spend more time with your family. And y'all so focused on the world. Y'all need to realize that change starts within first. Why are you trying to change the world and you don't want to change yourself? Excuse me. You're trying to expose the truth. You're trying to enlighten people. But Spirit saying you're the problem. You're the problem. Listen, if you over here cheating on your baby mama, if you over here cheating on your spouse or your partner, saying that you don't like them, if you can't love your neighbor, if you're the one that does not love your neighbor, you're part of the problem. Is what our higher self is saying. There is no simulation. There's no simulation. You know, the grass that you touch is real. There's no dome. There's none of that. The grass. Oh, okay. Well, we didn't ask specifically about the dome. Maybe part 2. But there's no simulation. There's no simulation. It's y'all. Is what the higher self is saying. What other messages to encourage the people? What other encouraging messages? What is spirit encouraging people to remember? There you go. What encouraging messages, what is Spirit encouraging people to remember in regards to? I don't feel I deserve you. I wish it was less complicated. You are so beautiful to me. Some people feel like they're being punished, and God is saying no. Spirit, or Spirit, if you will, you know, whatever you like to call the source. That's not it. Everybody, almost everybody is going through the motions. Everybody's going through something, and regardless of what you see on social media, of course people are going to put up a front because it temporarily makes them feel better. But it's like, also Spirit is saying that they love us. They love us and they have our back. But if you feel like you're being punished, that's not the case. That's not the case. We're all going through a traditional period, and because everybody's circumstances vary, it impacts us harder. But Spirit is saying, I promise that there's, you know, a bigger picture here. People are not suffering economically for no reason. That's what Spirit is saying. That there's a bigger purpose. Things will fall into place.